You're listening to the Build Your Wealth podcast, episode number 30. Have you ever bought into something that was presented in a way that it sounded like absolutely everything you ever wanted? And then when you got it, you were pleasantly surprised when it turned out to be totally different, but was actually so much more? That's because they presented it in a way that it sounded like exactly what you wanted, but then they delivered on what you really, truly needed. On today's show, I'm going to tell you how to sell to your customers what they want, but give them what they need. So stay tuned. Ugh. It's that time of day again. Time to get up and make someone else rich. Hi there, and welcome to the Build Your Wealth podcast. I'm your host, Nicole Thompson. Over the years, I've taken the skills I've learned as a dedicated employee in multiple fields and turned it into a thriving six-figure online business to create a wealth of my own. Now I'm here to teach you how to do the same thing. I share my successes and failures as an online business owner with you to help you avoid the pitfalls that can come with being an entrepreneur in the online space. It's my goal to help you achieve your success faster, adopt the right mindset for that success, and to show you how failing forward is all part of the process in building your wealth instead of someone else's. This is the Build Your Wealth podcast. Hey there, Nicole Thompson here. Welcome back to another episode of the Build Your Wealth podcast. And oh man, am I glad you're here today. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday who's in the health and wellness genre, and we were talking about how she could get more clients. Now, the meat of what she teaches is rather technical and, in her words, kind of nerdy. She's a total bookworm and she loves the details and the science behind what she does. But that doesn't always translate well to her potential clients. Because basically, unless you're in the science of it all day, every day like she is, let's face it, it's way over our heads. So even when she speaks in layman's terms, her potential customers are still confused. And when you confuse them, you lose them. So when I was talking to her, I asked her what the benefits of the technical jargon would be. What could one of her potential clients expect to get out of working with her? Basically, what problem or pain point could they hope to have solved? She mentioned that there were several things that they would gain as a benefit from learning what she teaches. Some of the things she mentioned were weight loss, a better metabolism, stress and anxiety relief, feeling better in general. So then I asked her, what's the main health issue that she hears the most frequently from her potential customers? And while she basically said, well, all of them, she was able to narrow it down to one primary focus, which in her world was anxiety. So with anxiety being the main issue she hears the most, I suggested that she leads with that when she talks about her products and services, as opposed to leading with all the technical jargon that nobody understands. She then started to explain to me how much they needed all the things that she talks about for her services and how important they are. I then said, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because you're still going to deliver what it is that they need. But they're never going to get what they need if you can't get them to work with you in the first place. The best way to look at this is to realize that whatever the product or service is that you're selling, you're the expert, and you need to be able to present your product or service in a way that everyone can understand and will therefore want what it is you have to offer. You know all the intricacies of what you offer. You know it inside and out. If you're selling a health food shake, chances are you know all the ingredients forward and backward on that label. Or that email list building course that you teach. You know all there is to know about analytics and API keys and all that technical stuff that goes along with it. But the second you start talking about all those little technical things with someone who doesn't already understand all that, you're going to lose their interest fast. Because chances are whomever you're speaking to knows that they need an email list. But if they're just starting out, then they don't have a clue what you're talking about when you start babbling on and on about all that nerdy techie details. If you make someone feel dumb or inferior, you're just going to piss them off. And instead of loving what it is you're talking about, they're going to click away and leave you in the dust, scratching your head, wondering what the heck just happened. But if we go back to the health shake example, and you talk about how much weight they're going to be able to potentially lose, or how much more energy they're going to have if they drink that shake, now you've got their attention. Because people know what it is that they want. If it's in the health world, they know that they want to feel better, that they want to maybe lose weight or gain energy or sleep better or have less stress. They don't know beans about adrenal fatigue or mineral balancing or copper deposits in their blood and blah, 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 blah. Just because you know deep down in your heart and soul exactly what they need to get them to where they want to be does not mean that they understand exactly what that is. And it's not your job to convince them of what they need, but it is your job to deliver it. You just need to find out what it is they want to be able to cross that bridge with them to deliver what it is that they really need. Just because you're the expert in what it is that you offer does not mean everyone is, nor do they understand all the details of what goes into making what you offer a successful experience for them. But if you can connect what they want to what it is you offer, to where you can really truly help them, it's then that you can lead them down the path of what they actually need from you. And down the road, once they've become your raving fan, you can fill them in along the way and educate them slowly, once they're through the door and better able to understand the nitty-gritty of what they truly need. But if they knew what they needed, truly knew what they needed, what would they need you for anyway? You're the expert for a reason. You're the one who knows what you know because you've done it for so long that it's basically a second nature to you. It's what you've studied. It's what you've wrapped your head around. When you can take what you're really good at and present it in a way that helps someone who's not there yet to start down their path to becoming their very own expert in that field, that's when the magic happens. You're not going to help someone who's at the same level as you, plain and simple, because if they already understand the details of what it is you're offering, then they're far enough along to not need your help. Your mission is to find people who are looking to get to where you are, but may not realize exactly what they need in order to be able to get there. People want problems solved. They know they have issues that they want to address, but they may not realize what the root cause of that problem is. They just see the surface issue. If it's weight loss, and I know I keep going back to weight loss basically because it kind of speaks to me. It's something I've struggled with for the past 15 years or so, and I know that there's so much more involved in weight loss than just cutting calories. It goes much, much deeper. There are so many things to consider that could be causing the unwanted weight gain. But until you address the fact that someone wants to lose the weight, you can't get them in the door by speaking minerals and vitamins and keto and all the words that go along with all the things that you've studied for years. And now you understand completely. You need to speak to the basic human desires. I want to lose weight. I want to have more energy. I want to grow an email list. I want to make more money. I want to have more free time. All the things that you say, I want to. Address the want, deliver the need. Speak to those pain points, solve those problems up front with a promise, and then deliver on that promise. By talking in any type of technical mumbo jumbo, you're just intimidating or boring your would-be clients. I've said it before and I'll say it again. When you confuse them, you lose them. Be crystal clear on what it is your product or service can do to help solve their problem. Don't talk over their heads. Speak to their hearts. And this is where I leave you for the week. I hope you gained some real clarity out of this episode. And I really hope that you'll tune in next week for another all-new episode of the Build Your Wealth podcast. I'll talk to you then. You've been listening to the Build Your Wealth podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Make sure you don't miss an episode by subscribing to the show. I've included any links to specifics mentioned in the show notes section below so you can easily grab them there. I hope you'll consider leaving a review for me and let me know what you thought about the show, and if it helped you or resonated with you in some way, I'd love to hear about that too. Thanks again, and I'll see you over on the next episode. To your success.